Hi, I'm Kathy Taylor, a workshop instructor and a proud recipient of my National Collage Society signature just recently, collage being one of my very favorite things to do. And I have created a number of papers using Citrusolve and old National Geographic magazines. And what it's done is the Citrusolve, which is this product, it's a cleanser generally, but we are using it for a lot of art now. And what I've done is I've sprinkled it in the National Geographic, and I've got these lovely altered pages now. They're just silly pages with lots of textures and patterns and colors on them. I like to create collages. I've got two of them next to me here. This collage and this collage were both done using the Citra papers. So I'm going to show you a little bit about my process on how to put one of them together. I work on canvas, and I also work on hot press paper, and I work on Bristol paper. I love this Bristol paper because it's got a recycled paper in it. So that's what I'm working on right here. And I'm using the Citrusolve papers and gel medium, just a nice gel medium, as my glue. I do not like to use white glue for gluing these papers because they're very thin, and white glue has a little bit too much liquid in it and it causes them to buckle. So I like using this gel, which is a paste, instead. And what I do is I just simply look through and I find some colors that I want to work with. In this case, I'm working with yellows and blues. And I like to tear up the magazines and place them, and in this particular case I'm working on a strata, much as I'm working on this one here. This one has a little more of an elliptical feel to it. But this is a little strata, and what I like to do is work in pieces, little tiny pieces, and I tear them according to whether I want a white edge showing or not. If you tear towards you, you can see that that leaves a white edge. If you tear away from you, it doesn't leave a white edge, and I like that contrast. So when I'm tearing the papers, it becomes a paper tearing science, I don't know. That's what I look for. And right now I'm going to add on to what I've already got started here, which is kind of almost like a Arches National Forest or something like that. I like the rocky feeling of this one. When I glue these things down, what I like to do is I like to leave them loose, so I tag them. So I'm going to just take this gel medium and I'm going to tag this little spot here, and then I'm going to place it right in here. This way, if I decide to change my mind, which I hardly ever do, yeah I do, I change my mind all the time, then I can also take them apart and redo them. For instance, down here particularly, if I don't like this piece, it's just tagged in this one little corner, I can take this off and remove it and replace it with something else that I might like better. So that's why when I'm doing a collage with the Citra papers, I just tag the edge. So now let's replace it with this one. Just tag the edge and put it down here. And as I'm going through, I just try to find little textures and patterns that go together. You can work with analogous colors, which are colors that are next to each other on the color wheel and therefore are a much more tranquil look. Or you can work with colors that are opposite the color wheel with each other, and that'll give you a more bold look. This is more of an analogous kind of thing here. So I'm going to come in and I'm just going to see how this will look. And I'll just tag that on there. And once I get the whole thing done, what I will do is I'll come in with the gel medium and actually glue everything down. And the way you do that is to come in, lift underneath with your palette knife and the gel medium, and just put the glue underneath. That's the gel medium glue. And that'll actually stick the whole thing down. So I'll start to do that down here because I'm really liking what I've got going on the bottom part of this. But what this allows you to do when you're doing a collage is you can change your mind, you can switch things around, and you can add certain elements. Now I just accidentally flipped up this purple-blue color, and I really think it would look neat down in this area. So I can actually lift that and place that blue in there because I haven't committed myself to that collage at this point. So this is how I work with the Citrusolve papers and collage. Remember, when you're doing a collage, it's more interesting if you have small, medium, and large parts rather than have all the parts the same size. So when you're doing a collage, don't have all of your parts exactly the same size and exactly the same shape and color. Try to make some things smaller and some things larger. And same with colors. Have larger spaces of one color and smaller spaces of another. If you can see that, that's going to be my little blue area in the middle there, and then I'm going to have the yellow and things on the top, and it creates more of a center of interest for you. So this is how I use my Citrusolve papers when I'm collaging. Once I get this done, I will seal it with a gloss medium varnish, and that will create a glossy look to it and actually stick everything down that is not stuck with the gel medium underneath it. So that's how I create my collages, and this one are both Citra-Soft collages done with all the Citra papers. There's nothing else, no paint or anything else. So that's how I do it.